The views and opinions expressed by the host do not necessarily state or reflect those of the company and its management. Furthermore, the views and opinions of the guest do not reflect those of the host, the show, the management, and the network.
Hearts that listen, think, learn, and connect. Only here at PLC.
Okay, so isa na namang napakagandang gabi sa ating lahat, no? Especially to our viewers this evening. And want to greet also our fellow Cubs out there who will be joining with us this evening, and especially to our coach, Cubs Sisoy, will be coming in a few minutes. And also to my family and my wife, and JK, and the rest of our stewards out there. Good evening. And to you also, Cubs Jerry, good evening.
Yes, Cabs, good evening. And I'm quite happy that we are able to run this session this evening. So I am greeting happy Monday to my family, to friends, relatives, Cabs, and seminarians, na yung mga pari, appeal sila father, sisters, no? And all the listeners out there, have a healthy Monday evening to all of you.
Okay, so this evening we're blessed to have our very relevant topic, no? Because our topic this evening is goes this way. So, how does strategic partnership work today? Now, in a workplace situation, how do we see strategic partnership? Is it relevant? It's just a redundancy of processes. What is its impact? What is its benefit in terms of achieving production goals? So, Cabs Jerry, I suppose that you are the author of
Promoter.
this particular topic, and let us see what's your context to this topic this evening, as we have most of our stewards listening right now.
Yeah, first and foremost, I'm looking at this topic, the context of crafting this statement. How does strategic partnership work today? I'm looking at it as in terms of the role of HR today, its
Yes.
relevance in terms of achieving goals and objectives of the companies. So, of course, there are still quite conventional and very, somehow, very close approach, traditional, where HR is viewed as not necessarily as strategic partner, but somehow parang nasa level pa rin na transactional. So,
Yes.
in this case, I'm highlighting this because looking at the demographics, looking at the generation gaps, no? So many of the workers today are looking at HR and even some departments as comparable to the top management directing the production. So very crucial how HR can somehow drive the strategy in terms of production, commitment, engagement, because of the mixture of generations that abound in most industries now, even at home. So that's my context that HR has become so crucial and critical to the achievement of targets and all other directions set by the
Oh,
management.
okay. So I think there is a kind of paradigm shift that you are trying to introduce to us this evening, Cabs Jerry.
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
long before and so long for so long a time, no, the role of HR is yun lang nakikita natin, no? Taga-process, taga-document. So they're
Sounding
confined
board.
to sounding
Sounding
board.
board.
Yeah, parang disciplinarian lang, tagahatid ng mga memo. That is why, for so long a time, in the traditional context, if workers will see HR coming to their workplace or to their work sites, so they hide and they become so anxious because the HR representative or HR officer staff might be bringing some memorandum to
Yes.
be issued. So that is why sometimes sinasabi ng iba na, "Uy, andyan na naman ang HR. Sino naman ang bibigyan ng memo? Ano bang kasalanan natin?" Even to this day, whenever I call somebody from departments, they become restless. So they will call me.
Anxious.
What's my problem, Sir Alex? Have I committed infraction? Oh no, I just want to talk to you. So that is why for so long a time, the HR is viewed as disciplinarian, processor of penalties, and sometimes they only think of HR as good whenever their loan applications are processed and approved.
Yeah.
So that is why in this particular team that we have this evening, it's a kind of uh, uh, putting HR into a higher level, no, not just a confining itself in an office doing its own work, but making a strategic partnership in terms of jointly and collaboratively achieving one's goal. So, where does this start, Cubs Jerry, in this particular team that you are having this evening? At what level does this start, or do we expect that strategic partnership will take place?
So, my concern here is HR practitioners. So, strategic partnership dwells more on because the heart of operation now, the highlight is a people-centric approach na yung managing of because people now is very pivotal, very crucial in running business, especially so that the attrition rate is high, plus the level of engagement of people, and plus the mental health issue as a result of that pandemic which is still creeping in now. Andiyan na naman siya.
Yes.
The figures is increasing. So the role of HR, I'm talking of role, the stewardship, yung very long and deep in responsibility over the life of business to continue, for people to still have jobs, and the efficiency issue, especially so that the fuel fuel and some other commodities are getting higher every day. So HR can be of help in a sense, no? So it's more than administrative loads. The HR is quite into the role of the top executives. So it's he has his seat o- on the forum, in the
Yeah.
forum of top executives. So HR is now in real sense a partner in directing and getting people results. So
Yes.
that's the level of competencies as a requirement to some newbies in the HR professions. You still have we need to upskill our acumen in terms of business processes, in terms of financial management, and some other business requirements or in knowledge requirements. So HR does not only limit his knowledge on the administrative, but more on the operational, especially financial. So that's the call. Parang
Oh,
labo-labo na to.
mm.
Flatten na, flatten.
Okay, so I really agree, Cubs there, because you know, for you to become a strategic partner, so the presumption there is, you know, what is going on around for each department, what are the tasks, responsibilities, and I agree also that to some extent, your concept, your perspective should be that of the CEO in the sense that you know the entire operations as well as the necessities, particularly in achieving production goal or whatever goal that a particular company may have. And that is why all the HR will do or shall make is, of course, to collaborate and to have a connection of every department's performance towards the company's goal in order to have a strategic partnership. So that
Yes.
is why I agree with your concept also that today, so every HR should not limit itself in knowing all the administrative and of course HR, the human resource concepts, no. But that is why I also right now, no, if I may apply this to our organization also, that is why there is a great necessity that every HR should have a hand or should expose itself, no, or themselves to every processes so that they will have a comprehensive knowledge also. And that is why in comparison to the previous perspective, the HR, that they should not limit itself in the HR office, no, HR room, but they should go out and collaborate as well as learn also knowledge between and among departments so that they can become a strategic partnership. So that is what I have understood from your perspective, Cubs Jerry. And I think
Yes, Cabs.
yes, Cubs again.
Uh, uh, in line with your explanation that HR must now be knowledgeable of the whole gamut or perspectives or processes of business as that of the level of CEO's wider role and responsibilities. Like in my experience, I can still recall that uh, I need to be knowledgeable on how marketing processes looks like and how do people work under marketing division. How do people work in the value chain, in the control of inventories and the ordering? How do people work? How does the or how the processes, what are the processes involved in the collection, legal aspects of uh, settling accounts and asking payments, and the KRAs and the KPIs of those people under such department, accounting, inventory, because HR nowadays are there to prepare people, assuming kasi yung tao sa organisasyon nagma-migrate in between yan, within
Yes.
movement within. So it's the role of HR now to prepare people to be with cross-functional knowledge or exposure. So the level of knowledge of people, HR is now transformed into preparation of people to be competent in this area. So the training group is designed to monitor people with minimum exposure, kumbaga multi multi-skilling is the approach because aside from it, from looking at the paradigm shift, is the call during business continuity planning. So maraming substitution na mangyayari. Kaya nga
Yes.
preparedness quotient ang labanan. Kung sinong may mas prepared na skills na tao, ayon ang maka-operate. So kaya nga nagiging strategic partner because production does not only limit as a call to people under the operations group. Yung HR ngayon parang namumroblema. Katuwang niya yung CEO as mentioned by Cabs A. So yun din nakikita ko kasi noon pa ako yung tinatawagan pag baba yung production. O anong nangyari dito? Of course, the usual comment is kulang ng tao. Pag nandyan
Yeah.
yung tao, kulang ng training. So lahat doon mo doon ko nafi-feel, ako na pala dito. Ako na pala. Ito na pala. So, pero behind it is the science of HR to prepare people to assume responsibilities, especially yung mga yung highly skilled na mga posisyon. So, lumalawak.
Yes. It's true. Uh, but there is a whenever we migrate to this particular paradigm, it's not as easy as that, no? Because some HR are used to limit themselves, no? To limit themselves in a particular task. But when you venture for strategic partnership, of course you have to broaden your perspective. You have to make yourself be ready in terms of absorbing new information and knowledge. Otherwise, you will fail to achieve the goals of having a strategic partnership. So when I started implementing in our organization this human resource business partnership or HRBP, so I could understand very well for some reactions. So others would say, this would be an additional workload. This would be additional workload. And for some, it would say that will there be additional
Hey,
compensation for this
may
additional
compensation.
workload? So instead of welcoming the idea, so the complaints run faster than understanding the idea. So that is why when you try to transition from this particular perspective, it's not easy. No, we really need if you are an HR leader, you really need to get to the bottom of the goals of this strategic partnership. Otherwise, this will become a additional load, a burden instead of having this as development perspective, or as a means towards building or connecting people performance to business goals. So what else do you see Caps, in the transition period when you try to implement strategic partnership?
So the usual in my case Cabs, because of the handicap of in terms of looking at the structure as quite parang may monetary concern kasi when we develop HRBP, uh, in my experience, ayaw nila because of yung substantial number of population. So ang ginawa ko, I empower somehow some regional managers, area managers na magkaroon ng role over HR matters. So kasi yung issue doon sa partnership in terms of knowing the operations, andyan naman sila. So, iniba ko yung approach, sila na yung in-empower ko na mag-learn sa mga HR works. Kasi supposedly, gawa ako ng HRBP na i-equip ko sila doon sa knowledge sa operation. So, may isang approach din ako, yung may knowledge sa operation, ginawa kong HR in a sense. So, ang
Wow.
idinagdag ko na lang, ang HR technology, dinagdag ko doon. So, that could be parang to maintain the balance and at the same time, na-equip din sila kasi naging interested sila sa mga labor laws, paano i-attend, paano i-avoid yung mga abuses, paano ipatupad yung dapat na maibahagi for people to be benefiting from the what is really as required, no, in terms of
Mm,
compliance. So like looking at HRBP na mapa-easy yung operation
yeah.
in understanding basic laws. So ang nangyari, sila pa rin yon pero in-equip ko lang, parang naging HRBP na rin in a
Yeah.
sense. Pero sudo yun, sudo.
So the,
Racket.
actually, yeah, actually, there are other benefits also, no, aside from those who view this as a kind of additional workload. Kasi I observed that in our organization, no, there's one supervisor, no, has been employed for 12 years, and come to think of it, in a span of that 12 years as HR supervisor, she has not been able to see the farm in 12 years. She was not able to visit in some of the areas, and
Allegory of the
the
cave.
corporate. Yes, and when I asked her, so how did it go? So according sa kanya, it's really boring, sir. I almost uh, came to the point I should resign because I was burned out. So
Plato.
when
Nagplato na.
when I introduced this particular HRBP, no, as a kind of strategic partnership, uh, she was somehow relieved from that boredom, and she found some challenge, not only in
Wow.
terms of mastering his own field as HR, but one in terms of uh, reaching out with other people of the organization. Second, uh, being able to partner with some groups in the operation, almost all aspects of the operation. And third also is it has widened also her perspective in terms of leveling up her own abilities, her knowledge and information about the HR. Kaya nga, for some, this is a kind of broadening the perspective, opening more opportunities of learning and dealing with people. So, hindi naman lahat,
Yes.
no, na are trying to view this as parang additional workload. And I could see that she's very interested, and she has developed this passion because
Yeah.
according sa kanya, so nakakahilo naman staying for 10 years inside my room, sir. Doing the same thing, and has not, without even seeing the other parts of the entire division. Mahirap yun. So yun din,
Yeah.
Kats, no, mabuti dito.
So I appreciate that much yung because me personally, had I not been exposed to field and be in interacting with people in the operations in the field, I have been to Visayas area and almost all over in Mindanao. It broadened really the experience. At the same time, yung naisulat sa batas, yung naisulat sa mga labor code, how to handle grievances, complaints. Pag nandoon tayo sa field, we can really feel how the anguish, the doubts of people were in fact, because I usually do the reorientation of people in the field, doon mo makikita na simple as it may kung nasa office tayo, pero sa field pala, napaka-valuable yung explanation mo na
Yes.
yung you feel boring, parang ano ba to, plato na to, wala na tong kabuluhan tong
Mm.
administrative knowledge dito. Pag
Dead end na dead
nailabas mo
end.
na ibigay mo sa lokal, doon sa field, napakalaking, doon ka masayahan kasi they really find it valuable na, ganun pala sir, ganyan lang pala yan, ganun. Marami, pwede pala yan i-file, pwede pala yan ma-claim. So as simple as that, wala kasi, authority ka kasi pag ikaw yung nag-explain, kasi may
Yeah.
knowledge ka eh. boring ka nga, pero pag napunta ka sa field, doon mo ma-appreciate, wow, people are happy and quite confident and relaxed and somehow sense of security. Yung job security na nag-add value ka doon. So,
Yes.
that is how strategic partnership can go as far as that as parang very encouraging and yung humane condition of work parang mapopulfill ng stewards kung ganon.
Yeah, I could see also, Cubs, that there is a transition of engagement because for so long a time, so the workers are used to visit the HR, no? And of course, they have they have mixed feelings. Iba, kasi I am so biased with my own organization, no? Being in the banana banana
Yes.
export. So, yun nga, yung mga tao sa field, so they are really hesitant. So, before I enter my organization, I happen to talk to some that sabi nila, so they're afraid of going to the HR because they might be scolded and they are somehow criticized. So,
Parang
why you're here? You're,
police.
yeah, you should be in the field. So then I also asked them, why are you also visiting there? Sir, because there are some concerns that pertain to personal matters, family issues, and sometimes, sir, we are scolded. So, yun na, when the HRBP is introduced, so parang there's a huge difference in terms of approach and engagement.
Parang represented na sila, Caps.
Yes, sabi nila, uy, it's reversing the situation. The HR now is coming to us. So instead of us going to the HR, so it has a kind of positive effect in the sense that I think the HR now is reaching out to us, no? So what I required from the HR is not necessarily to make some lecture or to ask them, but just simply being there. You say
Yeah.
being there is just to greet them, or how are you? Because all concerns will just naturally flow in terms of exchanging ideas in the field. Then they also go there during break time, and that's the time that they all share all the requests, their problems, their complaints as well. Because I told the HR partners also that so you should not choose any issue. So anything under the sun. So anything goes. So you should be able to capture all of this without hesitation. So that is why it has transformed, no, the concept of an HR when you do the other way around them going to the office. The HR now is parang making the initiative to do the other way.
So,
And it
parang
has it's
nagkaroon ng signal, Caps. Nagkaroon ng tower.
yes, yes, Cabs.
Parang may
So
communication channel na.
yes, and you can really receive direct information, no, rather than doing it through the Marites system, no. So because
So,
you can
in
hear
that
that,
sense, Caps, kaya naging demand na rin sa mga HR practitioners, mga stewards, na magiging, kumbaga may comprehensive view din sila sa total operation. Kasi whether we like it or not, kung nagiging komportable na yung tao, anything goes, i-refer na niya eh. Kaya nga naging
yes,
strategic
sir.
partner, somebody na magkabigay ng tamang explanation objectively. Kaya nga may mga critical thinking na ibigay yung black na black at saka white na white. So walang, kumbaga, nagiging guidance, nagiging guide yung
Yes,
HR.
yes. So there's really a great difference
Pero
when you
paano mo
approach
nang
that.
i-prepare, Cabs?
Yeah,
Looking at the continuity of the program, do you put in place may mga
yeah.
onboarding procedure ka ba na
Of
latag
course,
diyan
Carl. So that will be
sa upcoming
okay,
group?
Carl. Yeah. So that will be our next discussion after hearing some reminders
I
as we
see.
pull, as we take, as we have or take a break for the meantime. Okay, so we're back, Cabs Jerry.
Yes,
And a while
Caps.
ago,
Ang
before we
greetings dyan,
pause for,
walang comments.
kasi wala si Coach Sisoy, so walang
Ah,
comments. Okay, so
ayan.
we have Coach Loretta, no? Good evening, it's our Steward. So good evening also, Coach Loretta. And from
From New York.
Elita Vidal, Amen. So Amen also. So thank you for your
Thank you.
greetings. And before we pause for a break, so you are Caps Jerry Tobo, no, was inquisitive, no, how did it go, especially in establishing HR business partnership in the field. So was there an onboarding? So what was the process before deploying HR in the field, no? In contrast to
Yes.
people visiting the HR office. So it goes this way, Cabs Jerry. So first and foremost, so there was a strategic planning also, no? Wherein we evaluated the whole system 5 years ago. So what was the situation of the HR? So it came about that people were not that open, were not that transparent to the HR as well as to the management because of fear, no, because of hesitation. So that is why it came to the point that it's high time that we reverse the situation and we utilize this strategic partnership concept through the human resource business partnership. So first, they should be able to understand the goals that it should a kind of transition, no, from being defensive to offensive. So what do you mean by offensive? So it's now high time for the HR team to do the first move, no, by going out of their comfort zones, no, by initiating in reaching out the people in the field. So that is why it is a requirement, a routinary requirement for all HR that twice a week they should go to their assigned areas, no, to be there, no, not just requiring people to raise their complaints, but just being there. When I say just being there is it is done through the following. So they just greet the people in the field. So how are they? So maybe they will ask for the status of their work. So do they find some problems? And everything will just follow smoothly and naturally. So from there, the HR will begin, the people in the field will begin to open up. No, it's a direct communication. No, unlike with getting some secondhand, third-hand information that sometimes coming are which are coming from the mouths of the marites. So that is quite discouraging instead of encouraging. That is why from there on, whenever they got some issues, so that's the point that the whole team will discuss for that, find some solutions. If they have some problems with regard to relationship, so immediately we will arrange for a conflict resolution. If they have some problems with regard to their superiors and with their salaries or benefits, so immediately we take actions. And the sustainability of this is each HRBP or HR partner will be assigned on rotation so that they will not get bored also in dealing with the same people all the time.
I
And
see.
initially, there are good impressions on the side of the operation also or the production group because it made their burden lighter because instead of them bringing the issue to the HR, find solution, so it's the HR who receive directly their problems, their concerns, their issues. And it will be the HR who will discuss that to the proper authority like the production. And the solution will be achieved immediately as soon as possible. So that's the answer to your question, Cubs Jerry.
Yeah, so unang-una parang the way I look at it, parang dual yung atake doon na andun yung HR, inalam niya, tapos nire-resolve niya through committee or whatever, then bring it higher, no? Kung saan yung may concern department na for further resolution of the issues or the problem. So nagiging direct at saka kaya doon lumilitaw the way I look at it, Cubs, how strategic partnership is done in that process kasi directly nagbigay siya ng assistance sa operations doon kasi andyan siya nagpo-provide ng services kasi mabigat yung conflict resolution kung hindi ka equipped dyan, it's either mapipikon ka or baka matwist or mag-create pa ng yung hindi na controllable kasi maraming magsasakay dyan.
Yes,
Mapoliticize
it's
pa.
true, Cubs.
So
Yes.
mitigating din 'yan. So kaya nga dalawang patama diyan na increase pa yung engagement ng tao, nape-prevent pa yung mga untoward incident na pwedeng
Yeah.
kasi maraming sasakay diyan kung ganun. Collective masyado
Yes.
yung tao in the
Mm,
field. Eh.
yeah. So
So paano
with that
yung ano
video,
Cubs? Paano yung maturity ng tao na i-deploy mo? Of course, first requirement is mastery over yung mga basic
yeah, yeah.
knowledge
So
on
so
paano yan?
yeah, yes, Cubs. Your question is very relevant, no, because at first, no, of course, personally, I have so much hesitation because for several years, our company has been there for more than 25 years,
Ah,
and these people, they are more senior, more senior than me, no, in terms of services. That is why I could see their biases in terms of handling their tasks and engaging with people, and that is why I I took time. No, I really took time to
may
this
mga
because,
naysayers, naysayers.
of
No,
course, that's
no,
normal.
no.
That's normal because they get used over the years. No? So I took time. First, I made some learning sessions, then understanding some real situations until such time they were able to realize that there is really need to change the system. And that is why this particular concept, the strategic partnership, came into existence. Then by from there, so I was so kind of sensitive in terms of the result of their early engagements in the field, and there are some also that who were overwhelmed by the issues because when the employees see that, oi, the HR are now with us, are approaching us, it's high time for me to open up. And the result, some of the HR partners are bombarded with so many issues. Sir, it's overwhelming. And that's good. That's a good sign. That's a positive problem. I told them because it's an indication that they are trying to be with us, and they are understanding the whole process. And in this manner, I could see that it is a very huge development in terms of communications because they are now directly sharing to the HR the issues and concern in the operation. On the other hand, the operations also sometimes they misunderstood us that it's kind of duplicating their tasks
Yeah.
because somehow they are seeing us as a duplication or redundancy in terms of managing people.
Oh, kasi
And that is
tao
why
tao
immediately,
din nila yan.
yeah, yeah. Minsan nagsisilos. Kasi the people are more close to the HR than them. So that is
Yes,
why,
because kasi sa kanila
uh,
pressure dito reward.
yeah. And that is why they would accuse us, please limit your exposure to the field because they are losing their focus. Well, I did try to explain a bit to the management committee as well as to the managers and supervisors that we are not on that particular direction and trying to unseat with your position and
Yeah.
to diminish your authorities. No. So that is why I told them that we are here as partners. In fact, we will lessen your burden, your
Yes.
obstacles in terms of achieving your goals because of the issues on people management. And later on, they were able to understand the situation. They were appreciative and they were kind of more focused this time on the operation rather than all other things, such as on the issues of infraction or other benefits and other issues concerning some conflict between and among employees. Because immediately the HR partner is there to patch up, to talk immediately, to settle issues right there and there. So there is no waste of time, there is no waste of resources, no, in terms of resolving some issues and concern that will affect the operation. Yeah, it was not easy from the start, no. There are a lot of misunderstandings. There are a lot of misconception. But when you'll be able to address all these things, right there and there, you will be able to understand how crucial, how relevant is the role of strategic partnership in connecting people, performance towards business, achieving business goals.
So meaning, Caps, the HRBP is there, yung mga roadblocks na mga barrier doon sa why people are disengaging. So doon nagiging malakas siya sa na nagpapa-facilitate and facilitate sa understanding, facilitate sa kasi may mga biases yan na baka miscommunicated lang yung mga programs.
Yes,
So in
Kams.
that
Yeah.
sense, may nakikinig ngayon ng mga young professionals in terms of yung mga parang bago pa lang sa HR works. So parang nagiging call of time na ngayon na ang HR, yung people skills, talagang talagang in-depth at saka direct yung engagement in terms of people management ngayon. So it's more than systems, it's more than administrative skills, it's more on talagang parang operational in a sense kasi andun ka partnering with the operations, pero yung negotiation skills, yung listening skills, yung communication skills, yung mga lahat ng mga leadership, basics of leadership, talagang magiging competency ng HR BP yan
Yes.
ngayon.
And minsan
So,
we receive Cabs Jerry.
yes.
Minsan maka-receive kami ng feedback in a very simple na statement, no? Hala, may HR na pala.
Ah,
Hindi, parang offensive siya or parang complimentary but sometimes, hala, may HR na pala. Wow. Parang I could understand that, uy, masyadong nafe-feel na nila ang presence ng HR, the
ayun.
importance of HR. So, well, we just take it positively na lang, no? Because
Ah,
for so long a time, they could not see in HR in the very most decisive moment. That is why I could see that in some meetings, no, important meetings in the production, the HR is always invited. So there is already a representation from the HR for any how do you call this, critical situation, critical things that need decisions. So I am very much happy that they really see the role of HR right now, no, as a partner in dealing all situations in the field.
tama
And
kay kasi
that's the
in my
impact. Yes,
experience,
Cubs.
Cubs, yung previous experience ko, paminsan-minsan ma-call lang yung atensyon ng HR, lala na yung problema.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, lala
So
na ba?
that is why,
Sabi,
Cubs. So you are on the reactive munda with
yun nga.
that kind of
Oh,
situation. That's when the HR was confined, no, in an office,
yes.
no. But In this particular situation, Cabs, where the active role or proactive role of HR is somehow paving the way to preventing situations. Because from there on, so minsan, before, nagsusumbong lang ang tao, but right now, you do not need somebody to sumbong to you, no? But to know first hand of the information, because you are there in the field, listening to
Yes.
them directly. So there's no need for third party, because sometimes when there's a third party, magiging marites ng labas. So nagiging hearsay na siya. So in this
Yes.
particular
Colored na
context,
colored.
so yes, colored na siya. So in this particular context, it is kind of prevention, no? So it will not reach into a worse level because at an early stage, malalaman mo na kung ano yung mga early causes or the root causes of some problems. So
So yung
ma-address mo na immediately.
detection gaps.
Yeah. So there's an early detection of the problem because
Yes.
you are already there in the within the people, no, in the field. So ito yung tinatawag natin na strategic partnership. But I would like to highlight also, Cabs, Jerino, that it's not just getting some information, being with the people, or trying to reverse the situation that HR is now become proactive. But there is a critical process also that I did to this, no? So after getting all the information, the issues and concerns, so we have really an in-depth discussion. So what is the meaning of this particular issue?
Ah, okay.
So what are the yeah. Then how do we go about this and what are the next steps? Kasi you're just listening, you're not just watching TikTok in the Facebook, no? You are just being with the situation. Kaya nga, there is a follow-up, there is a follow-through. So whenever this is a situation, what are you going to do? Whom to approach, whom to collaborate, and what is your expected goal when you collaborate. So it is always result-based, Cabs, Jerry. So
Ah,
it is
okay.
just gathering data. You're not just a reporter, but you are also a solutions provider. So hindi ganun ka-easy yun. Kaya nga, magiging busy ang
So
buhay ng
nagkakaroon
isang
na ano, yung mga
LPC.
interventions, programs.
Yeah, but during the first year camps, I go with them. I process with them, no, because later on when I observed that they're already independent, so I just parang let them be, no. Because nakita ko naman na they are really on the process and they know the next steps and what are they going to look into in the next few months or a year after.
So kumbaga Cubs, may mga metrics pa rin. Defined
Yes, of
yung
course,
mga
Cubs. Yeah.
targets. So it's not just nga
Because
andoon sila.
yeah. No, kasi the tendency there, if you do not expect some reports or results from them, parang lalabas na parang they are walking in the park na. Parang namamasyal na
Yes.
lang sila. So they just trying to parang extend some people to talk with, no, parang kachismisan. No, they
So
should find
goal-oriented
the,
pa rin.
of course, ka.
Business goals.
Kaya nga, human resource business partnership, you are not
Yes.
just there to talk empty things, no? Empty talks, to have empty talks, but to do very relevant matters that will affect the operation and the production goals. So kaya nga sabi ko, don't overstay na until to the point that yun na, magchichismisa na kayo, then you'll have a marites-centered na process. No, that is not the goal. So first and foremost, you should see things that will benefit, enhance the production or the productivity of that particular department or farm. So ganun
So
ka.
doon naging strategic.
Yes, kasi it's not just going there, no, doing nothing, talking empty things, but first and foremost, yun ang pinaka-ultimate goal nila is what are those things that hinder or enhance productivity in that particular farm. So, ganun ka-importante ka. So, that is why it is
Yes.
expected na every month, they will have this report, no? Then, what I am very much interested is what are the things conducted and what are the next goals for the next following month. And from there, you will be able to see the sustainability and the value also of the engagement as HR partner in the field.
So talagang if we look at it, parang good as running an operation but on a different sphere. Like
Yeah, yeah,
example, identifying roadblocks. Saan ba, is it lack of knowledge? Is it lack of skills? Or lack of what?
yes, Cubs.
So yung programs na pinoprovide to strengthen the people, the guy, mindset issue, may mga coaching programs, whatever improvement programs. So,
Yes,
kaya
Cubs. So
naging value adding si HRBP.
yes, very much. And the core principle of this is the strategic partnership, actually.
Yes, yes.
No? So it's the strategic partnership. Kaya nga, for some, although not all no are doing the HRBP tool no or process in terms of achieving the strategic partnership, because for some, as I said earlier, that they took it as additional workload, additional budget. But in our case, we didn't have any additional fund for this. Just kind of broadening the horizon, no. And the people involved here in the HR also are benefiting in terms of additional knowledge, exposure, and avoiding boredom. To some extent, it's true that there's an additional load, but there is no other way to learn, not to learn
Yes.
and be mature in your task as HR. So
Pero the
by
way I
taking
look
more
at it,
information,
Cubs,
yeah,
parang hindi ganun ka easy. Kasi yung
yeah, it's not.
pag-structure pa lang, yung
I tell
pag-onboard
you,
pa lang,
yes.
parang kasi andyan na yung kagawian eh. Andyan na yung,
Okay, Cabs.
di ba?
I want to be frank with you that I prepared 1 year before I
Wow.
implemented this. Yeah. So first and
1 year
foremost,
yung land prep.
land prep yun, land preparation. And I presented this to the higher ups, no, the top management, even to the division level. So when they were able to understand the goal, so all of them were appreciative, and they even told me, no, I think three executives told me, it should have been done many years ago. It should have been done many years ago. I think it's not yet too late because uh, in a banana production
Yeah.
context, so in the traditional way, they always look up to the production people, no, as the ultimate solution to any problems in the field. But
Yes.
late that they have realized that not all problems are technically related or production related. And I told them that most of the problems are not caused by technical concerns, but are caused by people. And come to think
Yes.
of it, that banana production is a labor intensive organization. And that is
Oo.
why we depend much on the effort and energy of the people. That is why for us to succeed in this particular industry, we need to take care with our people, motivate them, feed them well, just as we do some maintenance or particular equipment. No, who has no heart, who has no mind, which has no heart and which has no mind. So that is why for us to
Kaya,
succeed in this industry, let's prioritize our people. And in order to achieve that, so we have to implement the strategic partnership through HRBP.
yes, kasi
And our
yung HR, may neutrality siya doon sa pressure eh.
yes,
Ma-
Cubs.
maka-play in between siya. Kasi
Yeah.
direct man yung concern ng production. Direct din yung concern ng tao tungkol doon sa production. Pero yung pagpa-make easy yung mga understanding, yung motivation, yung pagpapahalaga, yung values formation na lang, Cubs, medyo heavy
Yeah.
yun.
Yes, that's true, Cubs. Because
Creating culture.
wow, Yeah, because one requirement to this is each RBP or human resource business partner should have integrity. Because how
Yun.
will you arrive at achieving best partnership without your partner trusting you, no, or being confident with you? So that's one requirement, and another thing also is honesty. No,
Yan.
honesty and openness, because you do not always expect that you will receive positive feedback. So all things under the sun, no, rain or shine, you should be open to
Yes.
that, because that is the only way where we can improve ourselves. So if you're not ready with that, so how can you sustain with being a partner? So there are several values that require. Kaya nga,
Yung
it took
level of commitment, no?
yes, kasi it took me 1 year, no, to keep this.
Ay, yung discipline ba?
Uh, yes, cause no. Then sometimes also, then when you receive some negative feedback, so how do you react? How do you react? Should you be offended? Of course not. You, of course not. So you are there to bring all issues neutrally, no? Because when people will lose their confidence on you, they will not be open to you. So
Yung
you will
maturity.
lose. Yes, you will lose. You will lose track in that particular direction on strategic partnership.
Yung tibay ng dibdib.
Yes, Kat. So,
Pag
kaya you
mag-crack
should
ka
make.
kasi, wala na.
Kaya nga, you should make yourself be trustworthy. So that is
Yung
the
modeling
first and
gaps,
foremost
napaka-heavy.
requirement.
Yung
Yes,
modeling
Kat.
dyan.
So
Kasi
okay, Kat. So
doon
we
natin
have
sila ma-strengthen, di ba?
yes, Kat. So I think, Kat, we have 2 more minutes left. So
Wow.
from here on,
Hindi lang
so
natin
times,
inakala.
yeah, runs so fast, no. So what is your concluding words, Kat, with our team today, this
Yeah, to
evening?
the listeners around, we hope that you are satisfied, or some you learn something out of this very short conversation with Cabs A. And because we are looking at the avenue where many of the industries are suffering from fast and heavy attrition rate, it's because people does not only concern with money, but more so with the level of attention, the level of engagement, yung dawi sila ngayon na belong, kung nabilong ba sila. So, the HRBP, as enunciated in this forum, yung tinasabi natin na HR now should be, in a sense, medyo visible, so people can feel security, comfort, at saka para ma-feel niya na belong siya, may nagki-care. Kaya nga, pasok pa rin tayo doon sa stewardship issue. So yun lang, yung pagiging strategic partnership, each are now driving, helping driving the goals to be achieved in that sense. Thank you and good
Okay,
evening.
okay, thank you very much, Cabs Jerry, no, for your valuable input and for introducing this evening to us, no, this particular team. No, how does strategic partnership work today? Thank you for your listening and for viewing with us and for being with us this evening. We hope that you have enjoyed, you have learned, no matter how short is our engagement with you. God bless everyone and see you next Monday.
All
Bye.
right.